How are we, ladies and gentlemen, listeners? Welcome to the Leg Up Australia podcast.
1, 2, 3.
Can he do it? The gloves are off. They go toe to toe, blow for blow. He's clear. His big heart pounding. Yes! First history to try to make 3 in a row.
Hello punters and welcome to another episode of the Leg Up podcast. Joining me on the couch this week, Adam Campton, Blake Johnston, no Sam Wood. Feels a little bit lonely in here without the big man, but
It does. There's plenty of space without the big fella.
Haven't heard from him for 24 hours, didn't you say?
Yeah, he's gone out. He went
Gone
to
out?
Cavill Avenue or something last night.
Whiz.
videos from retros.
Good on him.
Yeah, it's 100%. Yeah, a few 4X golds.
Forex gold.
Do you reckon that's what he'd have on a night out?
I've
Yeah.
seen him drink
He
red.
Yeah, he likes red. He likes red.
red.
That's if you go on a dinner or something. But he'd have like, he likes his straight scotches and stuff like that.
Straight?
Yeah. That's like the end of the night.
Any ice in it or?
A little bit of ice on the
Bit of
rocks,
ice?
maybe.
That's
I
all
don't know.
water it down.
Yeah, not too much.
Fair
Maybe
enough.
just one big.
One of those
those
big
round
cubes, the
ones?
round ones.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Classy.
Yeah. Big class. Yeah,
He's a
that's
classy
right. Very
guy. He is a
classy.
classy guy.
It is.
Well, we went to last year we went to a Japanese restaurant, me, Sam and Pat, and they ordered 2 bottles of sake.
And got through it.
Got through them.
That's rocket
How
fuel.
were they? After
Probably not the best. Probably not the best. But 2 bottles of sake, yeah, that's a job well done.
That is a good effort. Campo, how are you, mate? You've
thank
been back and forth to Sydney the last couple of weeks. Big
Yep.
D ran 3rd in the missile. Good run
Yep,
from the big
very
fella.
proud of him. Just got held up sort of at a vital stage. Not really his luck. Not really anyone's undoing. He just got kept in by the second horse, and I was really happy the way he tucked the line. He's definitely showing now that he's a horse that'll get over further. He's gone to the paddock now, pulled up enormous. Probably the trips brought him on that bit, switched him on a bit. Yeah, I was very proud of the way he handled himself against some pretty smart horses.
What sort of spell does he have now? Does that sort of put him away for the rest of the spring, or do you get him back in time for that later carnival?
Probably give him a good 4 to 5 weeks off now. He didn't have much of a spell coming into this prep. He had a bit of a spell, but then he was straight on the water treadmill, just keeping ticking over. So just want to get him out there, get him over things. He's a big horse, and he's done his job this preparation. He's had a couple of unlucky runs. With a bit of luck, he may have won 2 down there. So very proud of his efforts, and give him maybe a couple of runs next prep, and then bring him back and maybe set him up for the Brisbane Carnival next year.
Nice Stradbroke handicap tilt.
Yeah, of course. He's obviously shown that he'll get extra distance now, and if you can keep building that rating and get into a race like the Stradbroke, that'd obviously, be a dream for the owners. And that's probably one race we are looking at mostly at the moment.
How old is he, Campo? He's a 6-year-old
6
now.
yeah, lightly raced.
He's very lightly raced.
Even Ryan Maloney said he gives you an incredible feel, and he's still so green. He's so his legs doesn't know what he's doing. It'll start to improve, and I probably believe in time maybe he might be a blinkers horse, but he's very hard to put blinkers on because he can get so keen, and when you do ask him to go, he lets rip. So got a few things up our sleeves, but exciting for everyone.
He ran really well. He ran really well. Like, he's going to win a race like that one day for sure. He was like, as you said, he was held up, but when he did find clear galloping room, he really
The sort
surged.
of plan was to try and get him out top of the straight and really wind him up and give him a long sustained sprint. Obviously had the fitness edge. If he could have got to the outside within a length or 2 off Iron Me, I think he would have kept coming at it. He really likes something to chase. But he got around safely, and you see he put things into perspective after it was tough to see, Joe and his team, they were so upset after the race. So the main thing is, he got around safely, and unfortunately Joe and his team didn't, and obviously feel for them on days like that.
Yeah, tough game. Watching live, I was like, oh, yeah, Deadpool was good. And then I watched the replay, and I was like, yeah, Deadpool was really good.
Yeah. No, it was,
He ran well.
It was sort of a messy race, obviously. The incident happened there back towards the inside, but he was lucky that he sort of could dodge that and hit the line.
Yeah,
like
for
he
sure.
did, yeah.
You always want to go the race and make sure your horse gets home safe. So that's the main thing. He's safe in the paddock now, and he'll have a good bit of grass to eat and get him back bigger and better next prep.
How are you watching it? Because, I know, any average Joe watching the race, your eyes, go to the scrimmage in behind Iron Me. I missed what D-Port was doing. Was your eyes just D-Paw the whole time, or did you get
I've always
distracted
been
by what was
ever
happening?
since, even working with, obviously when we worked together Unibet and stuff like. I remember Mark Morris used to say watch the whole race. I don't always just watch the one. Like if you had a bet, you don't watch the one race. And I do. I always watch the one race to see what's travelling inside him or what's got an easy lead. But I was standing at the front. I always stand by myself at the races, and I was standing right at the front fence, and I was watching him. But it's always sort of a little bit delayed on the screen. Yeah. And then I just heard this, and I thought I don't know why. I thought it was him at first because he was held up looking for a run. But then I seen obviously him behind him, and my eyes were kept on him then, and obviously after that, your eyes obviously go to what's happened. But yeah, thankfully he got around safely.
Yeah, that's it.
Blake, members are flying at the moment, mate. Big start to August. You're going well.
Yeah, we're going good. I don't know, 10 winners from our last 21 tips or something like that.
Oh,
so
really?
Striking at 50%. Some good winners in there as well. So
that's almost as good as Campo's training winning strike rate, isn't it?
That's good, mate.
Plus 140 odd units for the month.
Any hate, or you've had some love on the
love?
Lots of love.
That's good.
We love love.
Definitely good. But yeah, throw in a couple of $8 winners, $10 winners, and it's a good. Like Hildo helped me on Saturday. I was on a more victorious first bet placed at around that $12 mark and started $3.50 and won. That was good.
Yeah, wow.
Boys, a bit of a pressing matter this week. There's a bit of a more serious side that I want to get into, and I haven't told Campo this one. I haven't really told you either, Blake, but we floated it around in the group chat earlier in the week. But last week we brought up a chat about Tiffany.
Yep.
And there's a bit more come to light since.
Oh no!
So we did the reel, which went bonkers. It was basically just Sam pissing himself laughing, really. But we've had a lady, Christy Lee Hall, comment on it, and she said, "Tiffany, aka Heldon Park Catwalk, Blakey J, you were one talented rider. You could ride any horse and make it look easy. Tiffany wasn't an easy pony to ride, but you did a brilliant job with her. If you had have stayed small, you would be one of the world's leading jockeys without a doubt."
Oh, that's
is this lady real or is this Blake's account?
I think Hildo suggested that could be Blake's burner account as well.
Yeah, her old man trained at Kembla.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, well. So they could have been J-Mac.
Well, apparently.
Malcolm Johnson 2.0.
Apparently.
I seen MJ at the races. Malcolm, I was telling you, he was in fine form on Saturday.
Yeah.
He's still a life of the party. He's very, very, very enjoyable person.
Yeah, well, I like to think that I would have been all right, but who knows?
Better than MJ.
Yeah,
Easy. Yeah. Speaking of, I suppose, not MJ, but obviously Mel has been renowned for his suspensions throughout his riding career. And I don't want to always I feel like this just becomes the Zach Lloyd show sometimes, but I want to start talking about that because Zach, he obviously hit off with a season flyer. I think he rode a double on the Wednesday meeting and then a double on Saturday, but got suspended from both meetings. A few jockeys and, the likes of Darren Beeman, his dad, Jeff Lloyd, they're sort of in the press saying that they've spoken to him. But Blake, I'll start with you. How do you sort of look at Zach's suspensions? Is it that he's careless or is it that he's out to try and ride as many winners as he can?
I wouldn't worry about it one bit. He's young and he's hungry and he wanted to win a premiership and he is just trying to ride winners. And he obviously blurs the lines of black and white and what to do and what not to do. But as he gets on in his career, he'll sort that out, no doubt.
Yeah, I agree. I seen Corey. I had lunch with Corey on Sunday and it's the same thing. He's actually improved and he's got better, but he's just so hungry. He wants to ride winners.
Yep.
What are you going to... You don't want to take that away from him.
No.
You've got to help him as much as possible to get through this stage of his life, which he will, and he's smart enough and he's got the right people around him to...
he's not usually... it's not dangerous what he's doing.
I think the one that sort of caught a lot of people's attention was on Saturday when he was on Kirkby and he came up inside J-Mac and gave J-Mac the big shove and you sort of go... I suppose people go they listen to whatever J-Mac's got to say and J-Mac must have got up Zach in the jock's room apparently.
Young bull versus the old bull.
Yeah, that's good. You know that way, James.
That's right. But I suppose...
James was in reverse. So.
That's probably the first one where we've sort of really probably made actual notice of it was when he's gone to J-Mac, get out of my way.
At times, I think it can be more dangerous. As never ridden in races, I'm not a couch jockey, but when horses are going nowhere And all they've got set on their mind is that jockey on the outside is to just stuff this bloke on the inside. It's more dangerous not to, try and give him an inch because he can just hit the deck instead of just barging and playing pinball.
Yeah, no doubt.
Zach pushed out, and obviously he gave him the look, but he's competitive.
Yeah.
Like, obviously, you don't want to see anything go wrong. You don't want to see a fall or anything, but like if he doesn't push out, then he's probably called into the steward's room for not trying, or he's in trouble for that. So, that's him and that's the kid, what he wants to be. He's competitive. He wants to ride as many winners as what he is, and he'll get over it. He'll move on.
We see it. We see it all the time.
Yeah.
Like, there's periods of jockeys' careers, like even 18 months ago when Nash was in trouble all the time.
I was hoping Ryan did it on D4.
Yeah, like...
Needed Zach on.
Zach's, he's probably only rode in 1,000 races, so
Yeah.
he's got a lot to learn. And
Well,
he's
of
very
course.
hungry, and he's only going to get better, and he's only going to get smarter and more mature. And I guess, like, when we were playing footy when we were kids, this isn't an analogy, it's not the same thing, but when you were younger and playing, you were more inclined to throw yourself in front of the big fella than you were at the end of your career.
Yeah, for sure. It's certain. You want to take on the big ball.
Brave.
Yeah, really brave.
Brave.
That could have been the perfect race to have some jockeys mic'd up. That would have been good listening.
The F1 horses.
The F1 horses,
Yeah.
I noticed, Campo, you retweeted the racing.com video during the week. If you haven't seen that, punters, the Racing Victoria CEO, Andrew Jones, he's come out and he sort of compared, what was it? He compared thoroughbreds to F1 horses, F1 cars, and basically with the whips, and saying that the way to get new people on course is by whip-free races, and young people are asking, why do you have whips and whatnot? And Campo, you've retweeted it saying, surely there's someone telling them to stop.
Where'd they pull Jonesy from?
Was it cricket?
Combank or something like that?
I don't know, Jonesy, and I'm not commenting about too much about this, but far out. Wow.
Yep.
People who you speak to in the racing, he's lost complete respect.
Yep. And
He's got no one behind him supporting him.
Except
Some
from
of the-
Michelle Payne. I saw Michelle Payne come out and say that she's all for it.
Yep, that's good. So that'd be great, like when they go into the gates, and does integrity come into play, or if a jockey says, oh, this horse is sore, how's that going to go down with them? But yeah, they're just like F1 cars. You've got a steering wheel and go 200 kilometres an hour, and you just get to the outside and whooshka.
Well, the F1 drivers are not talking to each other in the run, are they?
No.
Are they?
No.
So they're just talking to their cockpit.
Yeah.
And it's not.
It's very similar.
Well, the F1 race happens over, what, hours,
yeah,
not 2 minutes.
Yeah.
You need
Or
someone to talk to over that long.
1 minute.
and one's a machine and one's an animal.
Yeah, and you can
One's
back
an
off.
animal,
You have
correct.
complete control over what you're driving. So
I think some of those things that has come out during the week is just ludicrous, and Racing Victoria needs a bit of help at the
it
moment.
doesn't seem like he has any idea about
Correct. The game.
horse racing.
No, that was going to be. I'm just trying to find.
But wasn't that their plan? I think to get someone in to bring in a new idea, but
Blood.
Well, this was.
dry blood.
They had. So he did racing.com on Monday or Tuesday, and then he did with SEN track with Gareth Hall yesterday. Gareth asked him if the fact that Racing Victoria and he's sort of a lot of participants are disgruntled with him, and that they don't have his respect, or he doesn't have their respect. And he came back and said, "It doesn't worry me at all. My job is to, I'm a strategy and all that. Like that's his job." He goes, "It's not my job to have the respect of the participants." But is that just completely cast, isn't it? Like,
There's got to be something changed there, big time.
yep.
Yeah,
And
definitely.
I don't know why everyone just keeps wanting to reinvent the wheel. You just look at the big races; they attract people. If people want to go to the races, I believe because they'd rather go to the races without a whip. See a horse. I don't know if they're really racing fans, in my opinion.
They're definitely not racing
Yeah,
fans.
so-
We don't like if your political views, just leave the greens to the bottom of your polling because we don't want to give them too much power over our game because they're coming after us at some stage. I have no doubt.
100%. Yep. I think Dave Stanley put it pretty well. He said, does racing really need to reinvent the wheel? If you want to attract a younger audience, you need to build events, make ticket, food and drink prices more affordable and have world-class music on, which obviously he's a Racing New South Wales advocate. He works for the Tab and Sky, and I think Peter Volandis has done the perfect job with that in New South Wales. Just look at the Everest, look at Golden Eagle, the championships. Like,
whether you like Peter or not, you can't knock him for what he's done.
That's right.
And he would be thriving off something like this. He's just gone like that, and this poor bloke's just gone down here. Maybe change your mates to get a little bit better in what he does, but I don't know what that is. But young people will go to the races. If your mates go to the races, and if there is a good DJ on at the end of the races, and there was cheap drinks, and there's obviously you don't want to make the race into like a festival, but live golf and stuff like that, it's changed.
Yeah,
everything's changing.
Yep, I think particular meetings, whether it be a Canterbury Friday night meeting or obviously Melbourne, they've got the Valley, they've got Lights there, they've got Pakenham, they've got Cranbourne. Like, there's no. I don't think if you've got a group of 22-year-olds that want to do something on a Friday night, they're not going to go, oh no, let's not go to the races because they've got whips. Like, they're going, oh, they've got $4 drinks and
$4 vodkas, that'd get
this
them there.
DJ's going to be there afterwards and it's going to kick on into the night. Like,
but yeah, definitely. I think I would say that access between when the horse gets saddled up and when they get put into the barriers, that will be great for TV and getting increasing turnover. Access after the race is finished, like coming back to scale, etc., all great. If we could give like the public something on, like, I know that they're already sort of talking about doing something for Netflix. Yeah. But yeah, like if we could give them the Everest Carnival or something like that and just have the storylines.
Yeah.
Like a Drive to Survive.
Yeah, something like that. Like if we could, if that's how we could get young people interested.
And there's so many characters in racing.
100%.
Yeah.
Like they've got to stop using the same people all the time. Yes sir, no sir.
Yeah.
Get the characters in, get the fun people, and you'll attract more people. It's just, change will sort it.
Yeah, we got the best product. Like, racing,
Yeah.
from start to finish is a great product. Like, if we can bring more people to the track via different things that is outside the racing, then that's great, and that will hopefully introduce more people to our product. Bring kids to the races. I don't know how you do that. Like pony rides and
the
pony
races kicks back up this weekend at Brisbane. Obviously, sort of the BRC. I think they do a pretty decent job of it. That last Saturday of the season, they call it the Teddy Bears Picnic Race Day, and they've got jumping castles and all that sort of stuff. Like trying to get that next generation through the gates. Like obviously they're young kids, but I can remember getting picked up from school on a Thursday afternoon back home in Rocky and go straight over to the track with Grandma and Granddad for the last 3 races and, sit there and like you can remember being 3 and at the track and that's, look where that's sort of taken me.
I fell in love with races because you fall in love with your your favourite horses pretty much. Kids these days are a bit different, but you're right, if you get them going the races early and, I want to go back to the race with Dad, I want to go to the race with Dad, they'll keep going.
Yep. Do we think you mentioned sort of those falling in love with those favourite horses. Do you think maybe we've been a bit too, not necessarily blessed, because we've had Black Caviar, Winx, Enemo to a similar degree in the last sort of 10, 15 years, but have we sort of not had that big battle that we used to see, like where you go back 25 years with Octagonal?
I think that comes down to Sydney versus Melbourne as well.
Yeah.
It's too many races. It's too many big races. Some of those horses that are winning Group 1s these days aren't Group 1 horses.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like, Black Caviar was the best sprinter that I've ever seen, but 20 years ago she would have been tested in a Doncaster or something like that. She would have been stretched.
Correct.
They only tested her in a Memsie over 1,400 metres. She ran it out strongly. It was a trot and canter, but like I have no doubt if she if there wasn't as many races around, I know there wasn't an Everest back then, and Peter wasn't trying to protect her unbeaten record, she might have been tested in a different race, and that sort of like brings intrigue to racing. Like, I guess those turnover on those sort of races, like when she was $1.12, like you wouldn't have a bet. Like, it's pretty.
Imagine Winks going to a Melbourne Cup or something like that. Like it would have
been unbelievable. We saw So You Think run in a Melbourne Cup.
Yeah.
Do you think
great horses?
Do you think that that in an instance like that, Animo was probably the one to that degree that he always was that sort of semi-backable price, you know, like if you're at the track and you had a fill up, you could get to 3 or 4 o'clock in the afternoon and Animo's going around $1.70. Like let's pile in responsibly, of course, but Winks and Black Caviar, you never really could do that at $1.04. Yeah. Do you think that?
But that's what I showed, that how much people do love racing. Yeah, like they just went to the races to watch. I remember that day when was the last run, or was it Doncaster? And there was like Winks's Doncaster.
The Queen Elizabeth.
Sorry, it was. Yeah. And there was all those kids on the fence with the flags. And that was like holy. That's like they attracted a massive crowd that day. Like,
she was great. She never really dodged anything. Like I hate when people say that she.
I think someone actually on one of our latest Winks sale posts said that Winks only dodged. She won 2 of the worst Cox plates ever. It's like
I don't think anybody to win 33 in a row. It's.
I don't think she's doing the dodging.
It's definitely not an easy feat.
And there were some races where she was like 15 off them and.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
I think they showed the Warwick Stakes. It's now the Winks Stakes, but her first or second one of them, and there was
excitement kicked.
There was that one, but this was the one where sort of Sons of John got the split and really sort of hit the line late, and she was a mile off them. But
that was an outstanding win. But I also think that the Everest. So now that you got the Everest, you got the Golden Eagle, and like these, even though that they are bigger races, I think that is going to. I don't think trainers are going to be as worried about preserving horses' status, like unbeaten statuses and stuff like that. Money. Because if you get a chance to run in an Everest as a 3-year-old, you're going well. You got an opportunity to stamp yourself as a stallion prospect, etc., etc. You're going to run in those sort of races. 4-year-old, you're going to run in a Golden Eagle. You might run in an Everest and run in a Golden Eagle 3 weeks later. So. I don't think that opportunity is there to preserve. Yeah.
I think we're going into a real sort of golden era too of Australian racing, where you look at sort of the Giga Kicks, the I Wish I Wins, like in their own right, they've got the ability to become the next Black Caviar, or not the next Black Caviar in terms of unbeaten streaks, but they've got that ability to I think really capture the crowds and win those big races like Everest, Golden Eagles. But the fact that they're both there and you've got Think About It come into the picture and your likes of Marzu and whatnot, I think it's going to become that really good sort of battle that we see at the races.
It might be the spectacle.
Yeah.
But as you said, like back onto Winks, like for a back market to win 33 in a row.
Yeah, it's incredible.
So
much needs to go away.
No
but
doubt.
You know what? And so much didn't go away, and she's still.
Yeah, she's
just too good. Yeah,
freak.
Did you have a horse sort of when you were growing up? Like obviously Kingston Town was, your dad rode him, but was he the one for you that really?
No, I think the one for me was El Segundo. He was the first.
That was a $1 one. And then Harada's son.
El Segundo was. I used to love El Segundo for some reason. I don't know why, but I used to love him. I remember we went to Castle Hill Tavern once, and we got on the drink, and I slept on his lounge, and he woke me up at like 3 a.m. and I was like, El Segundo. He
was like calling a race. He used to love that horse. He did. He loved El Segundo.
Did he won a Cox Plate?
Yeah, he won a Cox Plate. He got beat
1 year
narrowly by Fields of Omar.
Fields of Omar.
Yeah, he was good. He was a
that was a good era too, wasn't it? Like that was.
We were at the races.
Fields of Omar won 2 Cox Plates.
Yep.
And he was never sort of short price or anything like that. I think he won both about 20-1 or something like that. But that's how I remember. But we were at Rose Hill. He did because he wanted to go to the bookmaker and say $1 on Fields of Omar.
And it won.
Just for the ticket.
Yeah, that was great. Like back in the day, I haven't been to the races in years, to tell you the truth. Well, I've been to the races, but I haven't been to Randwick or Rose Hill in years because I've been working, like Saturdays are work days for me. But I used to love going to races when we were kids. Like,
it's changed a lot
so
now.
good. Like, there
So
was,
quiet. There's none of those bookies out the back. We used to stand. Like it is a lot different now.
yeah, like it used to go with cash. Used to go with a few hundred cash. Like get paid on the Thursday, go to the races on the Saturday. We'd be eating toast on Sunday if we had a bad day,
Or not eating at all.
We'd be having yum cha if we went good. But like, I remember like having wads of cash in my pocket and going up to the bookie and
Best bets.
having back in the day like 200-300 on them, and they were massive bets for us. But like we had expendable income back then, so
You
just
can
do whatever you
live
wanted.
at home.
You weren't going to starve.
Dinner.
You weren't going to starve if you came home with no money. But
I love obviously Lonhro. I used to love Nothing Like a Dane, but probably my favourite Shogun Lodge.
Shogun Lodge
I used
was,
to love
he was a
Shogun
champion.
Lodge.
He was a great horse, definitely. What about like when we were younger? I remember we went to the races and remember when Zoostar won the first Golden Rose, and that was a big fill up for you.
Yeah,
and I was saying to you like, you don't make money from spruik horses. And then you were like saying that after the race, and that pissed me off. But
I remember that. I love that horse, and I think it was a trial, and they went up. Pumper.
He failed in the run before it.
Correct. I think it was like 40s in, and on the day he might have been.
I don't know. Yeah,
$8 or
he was
$10
in the
or
market
something.
for sure. Yeah.
Did he win a JJ Atkins in the?
Yep. He was that was, and then he won down the straight, and that was Pumper's 100th Group 1, was it?
And the
Or
Coolmore.
100th?
It was too.
Yeah.
He was a good horse.
Yeah, he was a very good horse.
Like I reckon when we first started, when we were at the races all the time, there was the sort of, remember Paratroopers?
Yeah.
And who was the other horse?
Forensics?
Paratroopers. Forensics won the Golden Slipper. Paratroopers.
I used to love Big Joe.
Racing to Win.
Racing
To Win, the Big Grey.
Big Grey.
Yeah.
He was a good horse.
Them's were the days.
And Weekend Hustler. You loved him.
I used to love Weekend. Well, Weekend Hustler's probably one of my all-time favourite horses. I remember when we were at the pub and he won his maiden by like 8 lengths. Brad Rawiller.
Yep.
I think I got the quaddie that day. Paid like 6,000.
Yeah, he was a really good horse. He's probably a forgotten horse that people don't talk about as much. He was a champion.
Yeah, because people say then he was like the EI champion.
Yeah.
But he was a great horse.
Do you think maybe we need more, like, you've got a football team, like Blake, you're a Mad Manly supporter. Do you think is there a way that racing can sort of get to a point where punters or, racing fans can have a horse that they sort of almost support, and it becomes that bit of is there a league or some sort of way that you can do it where you've got horses like Weekend Hustler, but instead of taking on different horses, it could be sort of like a little series where it might only be 3 races, but say you've got a 1,200 metre race, a 1,600 metre race and a 2,000 metre race, and it's sort of a series where trainers have got 6 months to identify these horses and fill the slots, and you sort of get that real, not passion for it, but you get that sort of teamsmanship.
I think you get that sense of ownership when you've had your hard earned on
Yeah,
it.
correct.
Yeah.
So, like, I don't know, like, it's something probably that Campo could think about, but, like, if you were completely, if you made, like, your horse updates and stuff like that completely accessible to the public, then maybe they might feel like they have a share in the horse as well and be more willing to place their hard earned on them.
I suppose that's probably what those like micro shares are trying to do to a degree, I guess. But yeah, I was just sort of thinking like Grunt was the horse when I turned 18. He won. I went to Flemington for my 18th, and it was the Lightning Stakes day, and Grunt he won the CS Hayes, the lead up to the Guineas, and then fortnight later. And back then it was you'd sign up to a new bookie and you'd get deposit matches and all that. And my mate wasn't huge into racing, but he knew that I was keen on it, and he had just turned 18 about the same time, and he said, I've got a $100 bonus bet with this bookie. And so we've both made an account, had it on Grunt, and of course he went out and he won the Guineas at $9, returned in the spring, won at Maccabi Diva, and he just sort of became that cult hero for us. Like, I thought maybe there's a way that Weekend Hustler, that sort of, you get that horse. And obviously, like you say, Blake, you have your hard earned on it, you you follow it, but is the punt, is that the real driving factor?
I think so.
Yeah.
I'm not sure, but like I'm not going to squash your idea.
It's hard. Like
I
kids
have
grow
no
up, like
idea.
they can go to the shops, they can buy their favourite footballers' jerseys.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's not like that in
Do we
racing.
make like I don't think that the racing bodies are doing themselves any favours by like we were contacted by Racing New South Wales. Is that correct? Racing New South
ATC.
Wales, the ATC, about using their vision.
Yeah.
We've been contacted by other people about images and stuff like that. So we have to pay for our images. We don't get to use the vision. And all we were doing was promoting the sport. So, like, I think it would be in the best interest of the ATC to, send a photographer, make the images available to the public for distribution around social media, because, like, that's only promoting your sport. It would be in the ATC's best interest to sell the vision to Sky, but also make it readily available across. Like if somebody wants to go out and download a race and put it on social media, great.
Good,
Great. We're promoting the sport. So, that's how we're going to get in front of younger people.
Get some player cards in Coles.
Yeah, definitely. We make it free to air.
That was going to be the other thing I was going to say. You just mentioned like kids wearing, their favourite footy player's jersey. You go to a race day and there might be a merchandise stall, but it's navy blue caps with gold lettering that says Australian Turf Club or Royal Randwick. Do the clubs need to be going, all right, it's Everest race day, let's get Giga Kick caps, let's get I Wish I Win
exactly
T-shirts.
Right.
Like, let's
cool
get
caps and do it well. Don't do it cheap.
Yeah, do it properly so that you can have...
Get 100 of each horse made for the Everest, and then whoever
get
wins
a good
it...
branding. I bet it'd go viral if they paid a bit more.
Not even whoever wins it. Like, why not?
Give them out before the race.
Get there. Well, buy it.
Whose team you on?
Yeah.
Would it be a good idea to? I know they're talking about getting rid of bonus bets and et cetera, which I don't think is a good thing because it keeps people like if you get $100 to punt with on a Saturday, it's got to be better for the general public to have $200 to bet with if they're getting bonus bets and stuff like that. Keeps them at the pub longer, keeps them in the app longer, keeps them betting, keeps them interested, etc., whether or not they lose their 100 or whatever. Should, like, Sportsbet, Ladbrokes, all the big bookies, let's say on Everest Day, should they have a stand at the races? And should they give, like, if you're betting on your app in venue, like, you get extra.
Yeah.
Like, you get extra bonus bets. You get extra rocket boosts if you're with Dabble. If you're on course and if you're betting in the app, or if you go to the stand and you have place a bet, the rocket comes up, it goes off, everybody gets to see it. Like, I think that would maybe get more people to the races. Like, I don't know, if I want 10 rocket boosts
Tab
on the
have
day.
obviously got their venue mode, like if you're in a pub or at a racetrack, and I think Ladbrokes, they're obviously now the Brisbane Racing Club sort of big sponsor. If you're a BRC member and you link your Ladbrokes account with your membership, they give you a $20 bonus bet every Saturday, and then on Stradbroke and 10,000 Day it was a $100 bonus bet. But I know what you mean. Like, I don't have to be at the races. I don't have to be betting on horse racing to get those bonuses. Like,
you need to make an incentive to come to the races.
Come to the races. Walk through the door, you get a $100 bonus bet. Like in your Ladbrokes account. Like deposit, make any deposit, we'll match
and you
it.
don't have to pay $50 to get into the racecourse.
Yeah.
You don't have to pay $50 for a pie.
Yeah.
Yeah, the pies should be free. Like, pies, coffee, soft drink, free.
You can get, like, Kanye West...
Yeezys. Get free Yeezys when you walk in.
Yeah, get Kanye West being the barista or something like that. You meet Kanye, so...
Fantastic
Spend up.
idea. Yeah, we should do that. We should
Spend
do
up.
that.
How much would it cost to get Kanye West, do you reckon, to the Everest?
I don't know. I don't know if he's going all that well at the moment.
Oh, really?
We'll see.
Get Beckham. Messi, he seems pretty big at the moment.
Yeah.
Miami could get an Everest slot.
There you go. Bex could ride it.
Now we're
With a headphone. He can have an earpiece.
We'd have to put him on mute, I think. I don't think it'd be too easy to listen to Bex for a minute 20. Boys, not much else has really happened this week, has there? It's been, I feel like my I sort of, in the lead up to this podcast, you go through the Twitter feed and see what's really happening. And I know about you, but Twitter has just been flooded by old Andrew Jones and the whip rule. The one thing I was going to suggest, maybe we look at, Campo, you mentioned it just before about taking your best bets to the races. Maybe jockeys get a best bets instead of a whip, and they fold it up and they use that. And
the old best bets.
Like that's the best.
It's more expensive now, the best bets.
$5.99.
Oh, is it?
Are they gone up?
It was
I don't know.
more.
I
reckon
haven't
it'd be
bought one for a long time.
$7 or $8.99. Yeah.
Yeah.
It used to be $4. Got
Got a subscription now, mate. I've upgraded. Yeah.
The way you're tipping them, and you should be buying a few things.
I don't know about that, but yeah, hopefully we can find a few more winners today. But yeah, I used to love going on like Thursday morning, getting up early and getting me best bets. And,
The mug still does it.
The mug's good. Have you been following his overseas trip?
No.
He went to the UK dogs the other night.
Did he?
Yeah, he sends videos into the group chat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I haven't seen him.
I'd like to do a podcast in the mug one day.
Yeah, we'll get him on.
Yep.
We've had him on locked in. That was an experience.
I've had him on a podcast. We've had him on a general podcast before.
Good on him. He loves the game.
I like that photo of him at Old Trafford when he had. Was it at Old Trafford?
Yeah, he had the leg up
He
hat
had a
and
leg up
t-shirt.
hat and shirt on.
Could have smiled.
He got two. One with Rosie on the back and one with Mug Punter on the back. So
And I see you bought a cap as well that's got Mug Punter on it.
it's a fill
overnight.
up. That would have cost him $300. The
Jerseys.
jerseys.
He must be going all right. He's not following your tips.
He must be going all right.
Yeah.
No, he's a good judge himself. The other day, like a few months ago, he tipped like the first 6 winners at Randwick or something like that. And one of them was 10 to 1.
He does some good breakfasts.
Yeah, he's
Dinners,
He's a good
lunch.
chef.
He's
a rough cook, but
I met him at Everest Day last year, and for the first time in the flesh, and like there was 4 or 5 blokes just following him. Like I was like, he's
a
the
good man.
Messiah in his
the
little
man.
Peaky Blinders cap. And
he used to open the door for all the trainers and stuff. He used to be in charge at the ATC.
He did. I seen him at Gold Coast just when the grass was ending. And he had the biggest plate of roast. It's like this big. Same again. He was sitting like 10 blokes just punting away.
Rosehill, they used to have the good roast beef rolls.
Yeah.
Remember those?
Yeah, they still got those. Yeah.
How much are they now?
I don't know. I bought Paddy a sandwich and a water the other day. It was like $14. But I seen to the left there was a carvery station there still. The best was the old lady at Randwick, mate. She in the old sandwich stand. She used to make like a chicken mayo sandwich. Honestly, the sandwich would be she'd just be piling the chicken on.
Yeah, good on her. What about like when you go to the casino and you get the free drinks? Should they make that readily available at the races?
Yeah,
like free tap beer or something like that?
I don't know how that goes with responsible service
Well,
these days.
Isn't it the same thing?
Yeah, probably
Well,
is.
I know we're in a different country, but
I don't know how they police it.
I know Melbourne Cup Day a couple of years ago. It was later in the afternoon, and I think Gordon's was like one of the sponsors of one of the races there at Brizzy. But they came around in the members like probably 4:30 with a tray of like those little plastic sort of champagne glasses, little mini wine glasses with bits of this Gordon's pink gin in it, and they just came around and were offering them out. But we ended up loving this drink. And it's one of the all-time
buying bottles of Gordon's.
Yeah, but we said, have you got more of that stuff? And she came out and she bought 2 trays of the full can to us. And
sometimes
maybe
it's
that's
just a little taste and away they are.
Yeah.
yeah.
Bart Sinclair gets around on a Wednesday afternoon with his little pies and sausage rolls.
Correct.
On a Wednesday of it's
correct.
Yep.
What's the RV bloke's name again?
Andrew Jones.
Jonesy. What if Jonesy surely if Jonesy went to Sportsbet and said like, hey, we're going to ask you to pay for all the patrons' drinks today, but we'll give you every coaster in the venue.
Yeah.
For people to download the Sportsbet app.
And create like a QR code on a coaster.
I might be interested in something like that.
Something.
Possibly. They did do
half-price drinks or something. Maybe Sportsbet pay for
Twitter of Bush Jonesy this week.
I reckon if we were buying or bushing, Jonesy's good.
Dabble would do it.
Yeah, I think good.
Dabble would do it. They're good blokes.
The leg up could do it with the double
Actually,
sign-up code.
Any more double beanies getting about? Wouldn't mind that.
Yeah, we'll get you one. I think we don't have any. But Dabble have got them on order.
Yeah.
And Dabble are also opening up a store if you want to.
I've got the same triangle management beanie that I wear every morning. It's getting a bit dirty now. So
I think there's a Mugs punting one out there.
Yeah, you want a Mugs beanie?
Might put a Mugs one on there.
Yeah.
Change things up a bit.
Why not?
It's not really that cold anymore, but I don't mind a beanie of the morning.
I think that's why Moz actually bought the Mugs beanies originally. The plan was just to give them to jockeys and trainers for track work and get the beanie on. Kian Dickens, she's got
She's
a
a
Mugs
supporter.
beanie.
Yep.
Wears it everywhere.
Good on her.
Yeah. That
going
might
good
do
on
us,
the
is
tip.
it?
I think that didn't she tip the card? No?
Went close.
7
No.
of 8.
Marley doing
Marley
that
Doon
for her.
ruined it.
Go Marley.
Yeah,
We
good
haven't
on
spoken
you.
about Marley yet.
Oh, we haven't. We've got to give Marley a plug. And I tell you what, we did say on the awards podcast last week, and we did the bold predictions. You had to get nude if you didn't get your bold prediction right. Campo's ticked it off in 1 week.
Backed as if unbeatable too. Into $1.35 or something.
That was
It was.
DJC's money.
I just sit the races thinking there's some brave punters here.
I'll admit I ended up backing the second favourite when it got out a little bit because I was just like, you can't take $1.30 Marley dude. I was like, she might just turn it up.
Should have heard the roar of the grandstand at Rose Hill when she hit the front.
Yeah, good on him. I'm sure. Sure about that.
You said that with so much conviction then too.
Oh, we were cheering here.
Yeah.
Go Marley.
Go Marley, get your head
Marley
down.
girl.
I thought she was going to turn it up.
So well done. Well done getting her over the line. Hopefully you can knock a couple up, knock a couple of
Off?
winners together.
Yep. I know what you mean.
String a few together?
Yep.
We don't want you knocking anything up
Yep.
before you get married anyway. So let's end the podcast there.
Yep.
Thanks, punters.
Thanks for joining us, punters. 10 days left of the Wink sale too if you want to become a member.
Countdown is on.
Yep, so what is it?
1 free month.
1 free month if you buy a 3-month
The way you're
subscription.
tipping, they should be all getting involved.
Jump on board.
Matt, if you didn't, there's Futures podcast out there, punters,
I can't
where
believe Harko's not a member yet.
Oh, I think he has been in the past.
Is he?
He
He needs all the help
slides
he can
in and
get.
slides out.
Oh, does he?
Yeah.
He's one of them.
Yeah, well,
In, out.
he'll be back. He'll be back probably springtime, you know. A lot of people just flock back in.
They love the spring.
Yeah, who doesn't?
Get involved.
great time of year. Thanks, punters.
Toe to toe, blow for blow. He's